Let's talk about channels, and channels can kind of provide some good opportunities for trading, as far as trading within the channel and also recognizing when a channel pattern is going to be, broken out of. And a channel, as far as for trend lines and simply drawing a channel trend line, is simply drawing the support and resistance lines on the same chart. When we were doing downtrends, we're connecting things. We're doing uptrends, we're connecting things. We're now putting those support and resistant lines in the same chart. And one thing when you're doing this, you want to take note of which one is the predominant trend, right? So we're not looking at things that are, not trending or something like that. We're trying to, get some definite patterns around here. And if there was a predominant trend coming in, like an uptrend or a support trend coming into our resistance or into our channel, we want to take a note of that. And you might say, well, this kind of looks like a rectangle, and they can, and they usually do as far as that, but they could also, form other types of things too, as far as a channel or a range of where there's trading happening between the resistance and the support line. So if we looked at this with some of the examples we had given before, you can see on the left there, we had our downtrend established, our downtrend ones. And so then we just connected the two lows there, as far as, the other end of the range from the highs to lows. And you can kind of see how a channel is formed, and there's things trading in between the channel. So for example, on the left there, where had it broken through where the downtrend ends, let's say the downtrend hadn't ended and it turned back down towards going lower, then we would be watching that other channel to see if it would hit that support line at the bottom there of that channel and then rebound back up. Might be something, or trade with inside the channel. But in this case, it did break through and it formed some new stuff. You can see also, or some new trading kind of sideways, up and down type patterns. Until really getting now that we saw on the right, the same deal where we are connecting our tops and our bottoms, and now we have a new, in this example, have a new downtrend. Look at all those red close days in rows. There's 6 of them there, and you can see a pretty well-formed channel, forming along that too. Is the idea that we're looking at, is basically connecting the tops and the bottoms to kind of get a view for the channel. If we looked at another one, let's say on an uptrend, and this is the image you've seen before when we were talking about uptrends, you can see we had that bottom line, the support line, and we were buying on the second or third touch. In this example, let's say we're buying on the third touch, and we're now connecting the highest highs as far as, looking at that channel, and you can kind of see it more spreading out this channel. And this is where you can get into more of a dynamic process, because you could look at that and say, well, maybe if I adjusted my lines and didn't start at that first day there where I started lines, maybe if I go 2 days in, it might look something like this. Well, then that seems to be a little bit more of a narrower range, a more maybe accurate type thing as far as understanding what my channel resistance line on top might be, right? So there's a difference between those two different ways I drew it. The first way was, an accurate way, but the second way, if I was also to start my support line at the same spot, ideally that's what you should do, or you could do, but you might say, okay, this looks to be a little bit more accurate as far as what's going on, at least at the current moment. And then you can, combine you combine this with other things too, just like we saw that bearish engulfing candlestick. This might help where I'm looking at the channel and I see that that big red bar, engulf the previous up close, where it engulfs that. And I can see, that big red bar hit both my top, my resistance, and my support line at the same time in a trading day. That's a pretty wide movement. And it's a bearish sign because it's a candlestick pattern showing a bearish sign. And then what happens next is I get my support line broken, and I could have sold then, or certainly when I get a full break of the support line, I could sell then as well too. So that's kind of showing me my channel and how my channel is kind of being worked in that channel, and then combining it with my trend line, and then combining in this case with a candlestick pattern too. So a couple of different ways that you can look at or combine it too, to kind of, you're basically trying to get a visual clue as far as what's going on. And so channels can be helpful when you're looking to, maybe sell at resistance lines, or buy at support lines, for example, or we start seeing things where we see a trend line being broken. Seeing that full channel pattern might be able to help us there as far as understanding what might be going on with that trend as well. So another tool in your toolbox that you can use when you're drawing your trend lines.